Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be repainting my Safari LTD Suchomimus figure. Because as much as I like the figure, like I've been looking at it for a while and I finally bought it. It cost me 10 bucks like a local museum. I'd never really loved the paint job that much. And I'm going to be giving it the JP Institute one. Picture on screen. Time for the paint. Now it's gonna paint in white first, just so it's a more even coat for me to paint on later. Alright, now I've gotten this guy mostly painted up in white, and as you can see it's splotchy, but by the tail I don't really care that much anymore. It's going to be mostly blue there anyway. I also kept the mouth pink, because, I mean, it'd be too hard to go and mess up, and I want it pink anyway. So, whatever. Now I'm not going for like 100% accuracy to the original image, more like basing it off of that. And so I'm just going to do like this greenish pink wash, which turned out very tan for some reason. And I'm going to do that on both sides, just for like even coat. And this is for the underlay of the pattern, so that way the yellow will pop out a little bit more. And because if I started with blue, I would not be able to paint yellow on top. Gotta wait for this to dry before I can do any more, but I've done the green pink all over the place. With the amount of yellow and the white and the light pink and the green I used, these ones, it made that beige color with a near equal mix of the two, which I find kind of interesting. Alright, it's still kind of wet, but I just did this on the other side and it worked out just fine. And due to the translucency of yellow paint, it kind of auto wet blends into all these areas over here. Well, not really wet blending anymore, it just blends because this yellow paint in particular is quite translucent. So when I'm done like brushing off all the main stuff in the middle, this is what's left. Nice and yellow in the center. Alright, I just looked up the pattern for the JP Institute Suchomimus. I forgot it was that complicated. Now I'm wondering, what did I get myself into? Let's paint. Alright, so I'm going to begin with a stripe near the midline, which there really is no defined stripe here. It's more a bunch of spots near the bottom. So this is pretty difficult. That's kind of how it looks. And now I've added these stripes here just for like how the pattern looks. And I'm now adding like the little notches in the stripe, because it's not like a continuous stripes, it's almost like merged spots. So that's what I'm trying to replicate here, and it kind of tapers off over here. And they all kind of look like that. Alright, so the spots here were too small to work around, so instead I'm having to put them on after. And these are just the basic spots because this isn't bright enough on its own. So I'm going to have to touch this up a couple times. But I thought I'd show how you do that. Time to experiment. Here I have some non-drying clay. So let's paint over it to get the stripes. This has become a lesson in laziness. Notice all the debris left here and here. I say it's not worth it, don't do it. Now the legs got all the spots, just like the arms do, so let's paint that up as so. Water down my brush a little bit. It looks like it's going to leave a lighter color, but it's going to get into grooves. So that's okay, because I can always go back over it. The grooves are the harder part to paint anyway. Here we go. It's been a nice, long, and painful process. No, I'm just kidding. But I did get this colored up. I kind of like the simplicity of this one. It reminds me of like baby monitors. Like this looks a little bit scattered to me, but like this, I've gotten these clean lines. I don't know what I'm gonna do. For an absolutely minuscule change, I've added more of the cobalt blue to the black, light green, and blue mixture from earlier. This is to highlight the calves as they appear very muscly. And then you take some more cobalt blue, and then you do it somewhere around the middle. And that just like automatically wet blends it. Now it's time to do his face. Now it's time to do the face here. Catch it right there at the edge. And it has a little stripe going between the eye and the snout. So let's start on that. Now I don't care much for the original design's seemingly random splotches on the face, so I'm kind of just do what I want here and have these yellow striped spots instead. Alright, what I've done here is just finish the face, but you already saw how I did the top part, so I just did the same thing on the bottom. Ready for the most random sentence you've heard today? Watch me pick this Suchomimus' nose with a paintbrush to tickle him. But in all seriousness, we're adding color in there. I'm gonna have to touch that up. And you can do so by taking a wetted brush with no actual color on it. You just smudge that away. I mean, it's kind of doing its job. Apparently the 3 seconds it was on there, too much or something. There, it's gone. While the eye's dry, I realize I've forgotten something else. The fish catcher's attached to his face. There we go, white now. Keeping in theme with Jurassic-inspired color schemes, let's do that Spinosaurus eye. Nice and green. Alright. Now we got the pupil to put on. It's a shame it's a little bit messy. I'm gonna have to clean that up. In the unlikely scenario you've ever seen like close-up images of emu feet, they usually have like white-looking base skin of the feet because all the dust gets settled in there. So that's what I'm doing right now. Getting all that white settled in, whitewashing it to bring out the scales a bit more on the feet. I will do so on the hands as well. As you can see, that adds a bit of a nice effect. For some reason it's not in that area, so I'm going to fix that right now. So yeah. Here's something else you can do with pink paint for like a more lifelike effect, is you can water it down and then put it between the thighs, and this just makes it look like the skin is a bit stretchy there. And then you take whatever color you also want there, like in my case it's going to be this yellow. You can kind of just smudge the two together and they'll blend in decently. But yeah, that just looks better. I forgot this one at the mirroring side. As with most paint jobs, this one had an ugly phase, and that was when we only had this. None of the rest. You gotta go through that. Because it will be ugly before it starts to get good, like when you're cleaning your room. Alright, now it's time to freehand the hip spots, because the ones on the original design are just small spots scattered all over the leg. And I don't want that, and I don't remember what the other side looked like, so I'm just gonna put big spots and say it's good. It's not my stomach, that's something in the distance, but I can't tell what it is. Let's do a wash to either bring out the detail or ruin it. Which, I don't know. But we're gonna find out. So I've gone for the beige again. Because this is really the tone of color it's supposed to be. But I wanted a more yellow. Now I'm gonna get a dry brush. Because I don't want the washes staining anything. Only the cracks inside. It's alright. Didn't do much. Alright, now let's do a dark wash. Because these are really what bring out everything. Hopefully I didn't just ruin all that. Let's get a large dry brush, in this case a fan brush, and just make it all go away. That was a car, not a chick screaming. Don't freak out. Let's get some additional color on here. This is a green glaze I've made. To green up this area just for color variation at this point. Make it interesting to look at. Something I kind of just forgot about up until this point. The claws are actually beige too, so I'm going to paint those up, and then I'm pretty much done. I don't think I have much left to do on them. Beige claws. Don't worry, I ain't no slouch. Painted the two claws too.